We live in an arbitrary world where everything is made up. And I've come to the conclusion, as many of us have, that Earth is a complete prison. We are locked into a prison planet. We play these games and we role play just in order to survive. And it's like what you wear, depending on the context, has to be different. We wear these costumes depending on the event. And it's so arbitrary, and like so little about it is actually about who you are as a person. It's all about your presentation. So why do appearances have to matter so much? Why do we have to change things in order to survive? We have to compromise ourselves, and we learn very early that we're not allowed to be ourselves, essentially. And I hate when, you're basically told, like, you have to wear your Sunday best at church. You have to wear certain clothes for school. You have to wear a wedding dress at your wedding. I honestly just want to go out and be like, screw it, I'm just going to wear what I want. Like, I went out in my paint clothes to buy more paint, and my mom had to insult me on my way out. She's like, you can't go out looking like that. I'm like, who am I trying to impress? Why does my presentation matter so much unless we're living on this arbitrary prison planet where we are all trapped by societal norms, and if we take a toe out of line, we're reprimanded? And I hate when we're asked, why do you want to work here at a job interview, even though obviously we're just here for the money. We have to lie and pretend like we are aligned with company values, that we for some reason give a shit about the reason for the company's existence, when in reality we're just scrapping to survive. And then you have to pretend. Life is all about lying and pretending. Everything is fake and made up, especially money. Like, you think about money. Money is like a fundamental social construct. It is a fundamental human invention. And we have created this medium of exchange, to facilitate trade, of course, but also to maintain power and control over certain people in certain regions. Sorry, one sec. Okay. And this is just a collective agreement that all of us have come to in order to buy stuff. And it's completely unrelated to anything that's actually valuable. The value of money, it fluctuates dramatically due to inflation, and we're not in control of how much money our dollar is worth. We work our lives away. This volatility around money is completely pointless, as it holds no value today as it will tomorrow. You think about cryptocurrency, and that's a perfect example of how arbitrary value of money is. It's completely invented, and even though crypto has been mainstreamed recently, it's just an example of like how made up value is. We just have to have a collective agreement on the worth of something in order to decide that this thing is what we're going to be using for currency. It's a complete waste of time. Money is often like an arbitrary limited resource. It's seen as a limited resource because we're not allowed to just live and exist. This artificial limitation, it leads to stress, anxiety, making the pursuit of money a basic human need, because we have to have money to survive, but what we really need is just food, shelter, and water. Like, we live on a planet where all the resources are available. We have the ability to make sure that everyone is fed and taken care of, but we allocate the resources in such a way where certain people are just born into oppression. Point blank, period. Our soul is pinned to this world. We're just doing time until our sentence is up. 80 years to life on Earth, and it's a living hell for most of us. Wouldn't it be better if we could all just come together and design a better world? Yeah, that's not going to happen. Humans have endless creativity that is often wasted. We were born in the image of God, if you ask certain types of religious people. Yet, what are we doing with that? Why would God want us to live these arbitrary, boring, stupid lives? Our creativity is being wasted. Our entire life we are told what to do, only to be one day told what to do and get paid for it. We're always taking orders from other people. I don't know how to get in a position of power over my life where I'm no longer accepting orders from other people. And for so long I was afraid to be seen. I was afraid to say the quiet part out loud, but now I want to share my authentic self, and I want to be received by people that understand where I'm coming from. So if you're new to this channel, my name is Shelby. I exist and I make stuff. You can support this channel the usual ways: subscribing, following me on Instagram if you're interested in some of my artwork. And of course, you can always leave a donation through Buy Me a Coffee, through channel memberships, or through Super Thanks. Those are extremely helpful. And as well as check out my Shopify. So that's pretty much my free plug here. And it's interesting to me how our brains can only see reality from one perspective, and we can only see reality from our own filter. We have to program our reality as best as we can through our mind. And if we change our mind, our reality changes too. And I think that there is a point at which we have to take agency over our societal programming. We are one spinning on the same rock, and we are a blip in space. So we are basically one collective consciousness. You know, like that Lion King song, "We Are One." The circle of life. We're all connected somehow in this ecosystem of struggle and survival. And yet, despite this absolute surreal experience of being on this amazing planet, we are forced to pay bills when Earth should be free, and I don't think it makes sense to me. It's interesting that words are containers for concepts that hold a charge. Speech is such a strange concept to me because, like, when you think about it, it's just a sound bite that we've assigned meaning to collectively. Someone had to come together and collectively decide a dog is a dog in English, and like other places they call it something else. And I think it's just part of this weird simulation. And even if life is a simulation, I want to know how to make it better. I want the cheat codes to life. I want sandbox mode in my life. We should be able to change this mode of the game of life. I want to play on rich kid mode, not on hard mode. But we don't get to choose the mode of life that we have spawned into. I know deep down that I am worthy of love, money, and success doing what I love. And my reality is beginning to reflect that with this channel, because I know a lot of us have similar circumstances where we just want this earth to be a better place and a more sustainable place to live. My current self is trying to remember who I am. Time isn't linear, and I have to step into a bright future through my actions. So I walk into a future, and I set my future self up for success, and I attempt to control what I am able to control. But reality has been programmed for us in a lot of cases, and most people are so plugged in, it's just the way things are for them. Most of them don't even know what's real. And separation, of course, is an illusion. Individuality is a social construct, and so is hierarchy, so is collectivism. It's all make-believe. Kids believe everything that they're told. We believe in Santa when we're younger, and we just happen to exist. Like, what are the odds of us being people? Like, what are the odds of us being us? All being on the earth at the same time. Why can't I just live in a reality where all my wishes come true? You know, I know it's kind of childish, but at the same time, like, why not? Why are we in this disillusioned reality? Because nothing is real, and yet everything is. What if our entire life is just an AI universe? What if we're all prompts? Honestly, what if someone just typed in a prompt and said, I want this sim of Earth? But at the end of the day, you have to have some kind of physical hardware to make a prompt of Earth. So somewhere, some way, there's a physical reality beyond this. We are the character in our life, but we can also be the player of that character in our life. And I know that's a little bit zen to think about. And at the end of the day, we could even be the programmer of the game. But to become the viewer is to become the player is to become the viewer of your life, to know that you're not attached to all these things. And the character is you. And soon, if you practice, perhaps you can become the programmer, though most of this is programmed by forces so far outside of our control, it's crazy. I've never had someone who wants to spend the rest of their lives with me. Most people don't even want to see me at all, but I think we are all designed to want this. And the fact that we need a life partner is kind of a pain in the ass, honestly. Discipline is not optional, but at the same time, what's the point? We don't get to keep anything that we make here. It's kind of like you can put your best efforts in, but at the end of the day, telling someone with ADHD just to be disciplined is like telling someone who is drowning just to swim. And I hate when people make they say, make 15-year-old you proud of you. Would 15-year-old you be proud of you? And I'm just like, as if I want to make that person proud. She was not easily impressed, first of all. And second of all, she was a mentally ill teenager anyway, so like, why am I trying to impress her? One sec, I'm coming. Sorry, I might have to cut this short. Then people invent jealous and vengeful gods to keep the gullible in line so that they don't rebel. And I'm not willing to sacrifice for a man's idea of God just to serve the world of men. I'm not interested in being a part of this world at all, honestly. We are all imprisoned by life. I've always yearned to explore, to learn new cultures, to travel, to pursue education, but because of my limitations and because of where I spawned in on, I haven't been able to live a vibrant and fulfilling life. I remember a time in a church play where I was given one of the main parts, and I had a huge meltdown the night before, and I lost the part to an understudy. And I only say this because it seems like I sabotaged myself since at least the age of 8, and I very much want to change this, but I don't know how. And honestly, I've thought about doing self-development courses to see what would happen with that, but I'm not so sure it would be worth it. At the end of the day, life is random and everything is made up by someone. Money is made up, language is made up, culture is random, a list of traditions that old dead guys invented, and religion especially is completely made up. The way people try to convert people is nothing short of a mind virus. It's like, it should be criminal to convert someone to a religion that they don't want to believe in. Think of how many wars are started over religion. It's a complete waste of time. Bringing Western religion to a damaged country is a complete crime against humanity, in my opinion. Forcing anyone to conform with your beliefs is an absolute act of violence. Just saying. You can't tell someone what to do with their body if it's not your body. That's just where I'm standing with that. I don't really see the value in bringing an unwanted human life into this shithole anyway. To say that life is inherently valuable is a waste of fucking time. There's so many people that don't contribute anything. And most people are completely average, so the odds of you having an outlying baby is very rare. Reality itself is an illusion anyway, and some philosophical theories, like those proposed by Plato in his allegory about the cave, suggest that what we perceive as reality is merely a shadow of true reality. So this essentially means that we're all trapped in like a false environment of limited perception, where our senses deceive us, and what we know to be true might be a shadow of the actual truth. And the prevalence of suffering, conflict, hardship in human life can all lead to this belief that Earth is a prison. Like, why should life be designed to be challenging and confining? Like, we simply invented religion as a way to justify injustice in the physical realm. Suffering encompasses a broad spectrum of experiences from, physical pain, emotional distress, grief, loss, betrayal, and war. And we're left trying to find meaning to what amounts to suffering for no reason. Like, I don't think there is always a reason for suffering. And some people like to say that suffering is a catalyst for growth and resilience, which I honestly think is complete bullshit. This does nothing to alleviate the anguish, and it creates permanent damage. Like, suffering creates permanent damage. Like, it happens at complete random, for no reason, destroying innocent lives forever. And this unpredictability fosters hopelessness and despair. And at the end of it, we have no control over how our lives will be altered forever. We are then just expected to get on and get over it, leaving us alone to shoulder this burden, leading to an increased isolation. Where is the growth? And where is the point in that? There is no growth and point in suffering. Then there is fear, another weapon to control the masses. I think fear is used to confine us, where it is impossible to break free of societal expectations and personal limitations. And freedom of modern society is also an illusion, as we are all bound to economic, social, and political systems that we did not ask to be a part of. We're trapped in these roles based on the roll of the proverbial dice. There is no such thing as self-determination. Like, it's kind of like creating a character in D&D. You can do what you want, but you have to roll D20s and nat 20s your whole fucking life to have a life that's not complete shit. And materialism and capitalism all distract us from seeking deeper truths about existence. The obsession with possessions and status becomes a prison simply to impress people. And for what? What is it for, dude? From a young age, we're conditioned by society to think and behave in certain ways. We could have all been different people if we were born in different places and different times, and this conditioning is a form of imprisonment. How can you not question the validity of accepted norms when they are completely random? Religion has forced a framework that life is a trial, and that our Creator wishes challenge on His creations, as though our lives are simply a game of The Sims where we have no control over our destiny. I've often really thought that, what if I was just a sim and someone else was controlling me? There really seems to be no redeemable aspects of life, and I try to find redemption in my life through art, through creativity, through doing what human beings were meant to do: connection, love, making things with your hands. These things are why we're alive, but so few of us have the time to actually invest in this kind of thing. And I'm very stressed about money, honestly. It's a very difficult thing to not have enough resources. But we are basically trapped in these systems where we're just batteries in this environment charging someone else's dream. And why are we not the ones that have this dream that's able to come true? Again, guys, my name is Shelby. I do believe Earth is a prison planet. If you like this video, make sure to like, comment, subscribe, do all the usual things. Leave a super thanks if you're super inspired. And thank you guys again for watching this channel. I hope your lives are less shitty than mine is. I'm trying to find reasons to keep on keeping on, but at the end of the day, life is an arbitrary hot mess of random events, and we're just the recipients of these events. And I know it's not personal, but as a human being, it's very difficult to not take these things personally sometimes. So anyway, thanks again. I'm going to see you guys in the next one.